Welcome back, everybody, to Old Soul Torah. This week's Torah portion is Terumah. Terumah means a gift offering, and this is where Hashem is asking every Israelite to give a gift offering, a free will donation from their hearts to the contribution of a sanctuary. This is the first time the idea of a sanctuary, a Mishkan, a tabernacle is introduced. In the context of the other Torah portions, when does this exactly get introduced? So we have the Israelites leaving Egypt, crossing the Red Sea, wandering for a bit until they receive the 10 Commandments. That was 2 Torah portions ago. And then 1 Torah portion ago is the introduction of civil code. That's Parshat Mishpatim. And finally, we have Terumah. So right after social or civil code is introduced, now we have the idea of a tabernacle. So the question is, that we're going to be the leading question for right now is, why did Hashem place the instruction of a tabernacle here right deliberately at this point, after the 10 Commandments and after the introduction of civil code? All of a sudden we have the instructions on how to build a portable sanctuary, meaning a home for God that will travel with the Israelites as they travel. And so we're going to begin in the book of Exodus, chapter 25. The Mishkan, or tabernacle, was built with specific materials, each carrying deep spiritual significance. The Mei HaShiloach teaches that these materials reflect different stages of our relationship with God, times of closeness, longing, and even distance. But what if all these states are not only necessary, but actually desired by God? Stay with me as we uncover a powerful lesson hidden in the very foundation of the Mishkan. The regular Torah says the following: Vaydaber Hashem el Moshe lemor, and Hashem said to Moshe, saying, Daber el bnei Israel v'yikchu li terumah. Speak to the children of Israel that they should take for me an offering, that they should bring me an offering. Met kol ish asher yidbanu libo tikchu et terumati. You shall accept a gift from every Israelite, from every person whose heart is so moved. Okay, and this is the very opening verses of Terumah. It's followed by the second sentence where it says, Vezot ha-terumah asher tikchu, and this is the free will offering, the Terumah, the donation that each Israelite should bring. Zahav v'kesef v'nechoshet, which basically means gold, silver, and copper. So what could we possibly learn that's applicable to our personal lives based on these 2 verses? And so to answer this, we're going to go into the commentary, the Mei HaShiloach. It's a Chassidic master, and pay attention to the following. It's very, very deep and beautiful. Parshat Yitro. When you go back to 2 parshas ago, is Parshat Yitro, Jethro, which is the parsha of the 10 Commandments. Ki beParshat Yitro, kasher sham'u Yisrael et aseret hadibrot, hayu nekal b'eineihem lekaimam. Which means that when the Israelites, during the 10 Commandments, when they got only 10 Commandments, they said, this is doable. This is Kal Beinam. It was easy. It was doable. I can do this. Ach achar kach, but afterward, kasher neman lahem Parshat Mishpatim, when Hashem introduced the Parsha after Yitro, which is the Parsha of Mishpatim, which is civil code, means instructions for everyday life. Hainu sheratzon Hashem yiparach sheyitpashet kedushato v'avdoto belevot Israel. And the reason why Hashem gave, in addition to the 10 Commandments, He gave an additional 53 mitzvot, commandments, in Parshat Mishpatim. Why did He do it? Okay, because Hashem yitparach, Hashem, Blessed One, Hu yitpashet kedushato. He wanted to increase His holiness. The domain of his holiness shouldn't just be from a mountaintop with 10 instructions, but he wanted to expand his presence into the everyday lives of Israel. Okay? Ve'al yadei chen hayat tze'aka belev Yisrael, and it was this that inspired a shout, a cry from the hearts of Israel. Ech ifshar lehizdakech. Okay? How is it possible that we become refined, so on such a high refined level? Lev adam kach. How is it that we are on the level of purification? Okay, so what's going on? So we see the following. Hashem brings us to Mount Sinai, Parshat Yitro. Gives us 10 commandments. The Israelites say very, very doable, very reasonable. We get it. No stealing, no adultery, no envy of our neighbors, one God, keep Shabbat, honor the parents, no lying, no murdering. Very reasonable for civilization. But now these extra 53 laws in the Parsha right afterwards, now you're getting into my everyday business. Now it's bordering not reasonable anymore. Why? Because we're not on the level. We're not so pure. We're not so holy. You understand the 10 commandments requires us to, let's say, be holy on Shabbat. But now you want me to be holy on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday too? Now you want me to be holy in business? In raising children? In meeting the challenges of making a living and adjusting socially to society around me? And you want me to do it in a holy way? The way God demands? Now I'm starting to doubt myself as an Israelite. I don't want to make promises to you, Hashem. I don't know if I'm on the level to always be connected with you and to fulfill those high expectations in every single minute detail of my life, in every department of my life. Relationships, business, raising children, career. Now Hashem, you're coming too close to me. So what does the Izhbitz Rabbi say? Okay, and now Hashem says this Parsha, which is Parshat Terumah, Hashem says, now I'm going to give you a little piece of advice. I'm going to give you some guidance to the question you just asked. And this is the advice. Vaikoli Terumah, make a Terumah, make a donation. It has to come from your heart, remember. Zahav, kesef, nachoshet, ve'yita bazohar kadosh, shehu neged ha'yisodot hanimtzaim ba'adam. Okay, so now Hashem's advice, this is where it gets very, very interesting. Hashem's advice is that give what you can. The most important part is that it comes from your heart. And what you can offer can be on 3 different levels. The level of gold, silver, and copper. And then the Izhbitz says, in the Zohar it is explained, these are the different abilities or levels, these sodot, these are the different levels that a human being can fluctuate. Meaning the gold, silver, and copper represent the different levels in our relationship with Hashem that we're constantly fluctuating between gold, between silver, copper. So what do they mean? What does the following mean? Okay, so now we're going to look at the 3 metals, starting with gold. Gold represents the golden moments. It's the top. It's when we feel so utterly and organically connected in the deepest way. And it's when we're feeling most alive, most vibrant, most connected to Hashem. The next one is silver, kesef. Kesef is also related to the word kisuf, which means to desire, to long for. When are you longing for someone the most? When you're beginning to feel a little bit of separation. So unlike gold, where it's the highest, you're ultimately connected in the deepest way. Silver is a little bit lower. It means you're longing for God still, kisuf, right? except there's a little bit of struggle. The element of struggle is introduced in your spiritual journey. And copper, nechoshet, is the bottom. Nechoshet means copper, but it's the root is also nachash, which means serpent. If you remember, when God wanted to distance himself from the serpent, he pushed him away. He said, on the earth, on the belly, you shall lie. And from the earth, the dust of the earth, you shall consume, you shall eat all the days of your life. So it's the lower aspect of ourself, or it's the lowest part of the journey when we're feeling the most alienation and the most distance. So we have gold is the highest, silver in the middle, copper is the lowest. And what does Hashem say in the Torah? This is the most important part, folks. What Hashem says is that as long as you're giving freely from your heart, it doesn't matter what place you're coming from. It doesn't matter what level you're currently on. Whether you're feeling the gold, feeling the desire and the longing of the silver, or you're feeling the distance and the alienation of the copper, they're all suitable for me. I desire you in any state you're in. You can contribute freely from whatever place you're in. And because on a deeper level, even if you're contributing from the distance, that's actually drawing in the greatest light. When I was in Jerusalem, I remember thinking, wow, it's so beautiful here. The atmosphere is so alive, so spiritual, so vibrant. But I don't feel like my impact is so strong as when I'm living in Hollywood, Babylon, right? So in Hasidus, it's explained, if you light a candle in the daylight, what kind of impact does it have? Not such a great impact. But if you're in the darkness, if you're in the klipa, if you're in the heart of Babylon, the thick confusion of a confused society, and in that darkness, when you light a candle, what happens? It illuminates. The light stretches so far. So of course Hashem wants you when you're in the copper state. How much more so? And silver is the everyday, the missing and the yearning for the beloved. Of course Hashem, as our divine lover, seeks that. And of course gold. What is gold? Gold is Yerushalayim. Jerusalem's name is the city of gold. It's the highest level. So friends, when we're going through life, the beauty of the Mishkan and the sanctuary is that it's portable. It means that God's presence travels where the people go, where the person goes. And in the midst of that group, or in the midst of that individual, that is where Hashem's presence resides. That is the dwelling place. And the contributing to Hashem is for our own good. So we contribute to the relationship, and Hashem will meet you wherever you're at. On this note, God bless, and may Hashem give us light, guidance, strength, and blessing for the days ahead. Shalom.